so slow, even though this is how I normally cast when I'm doing knife rounds, because usually I'm just blabbering on at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
You're usually doing that Korean casting on the knife
I
rounds.
know. I don't think it's fair to call it Korean, because the Koreans are more like, oh, the whole time in the background.
Well, you gotta, if you're gonna do
I think it's more auctioneer.
Yeah, if you're gonna call it Korean casting, you gotta do the GG at the end, like the super hyped up GG.
GG! I don't even know if that's it. Is that it? No?
It's the right style, the wrong execution.
Alright, sorry about that. I'll go review demos.
Just search Korean GG on YouTube. You'll find like 10 clips. It's fantastic stuff.
Well, Nihilum get the start on the CT side. Now it is, as the meta gets developed, it is more of a balanced map. We don't always see that because there are still some teams that struggle to execute correctly. So I'm thinking 9-6 would be a good baseline for tempo to land on.
9-6 in their favor?
No, I think even if they get 6 on the T side.
Okay, I gotcha.
I think actually Threat was the first to say that it should be 9 for the Terrorists every time on this map in the current way that it plays. Nonetheless, Valens will push down Danger. He finds Hades, but Stanislaus gone past them, as has the rest of Tempo Storm right now. They've made a way in Sword Long. This means that basically Valens has to retake from mid, and they know he's down there, so they'll cover him off. But Semphis is making a lot of damage and a lot of noise inside the A site. Shazam does find Valens. Rix is going to get him. That nade goes out, and doesn't really do much. That was actually toward his teammate.
Yeah, Semphis just executed some kids there, so what that did, it allows Hiko to just hide behind these barrels at the moment. Shazam's going to swing wide on him and check it, though, and Hiko nails the head down, and it's just up to Rix with only 18 HP. Blows him up. So nicely done by Semphis, especially holding off that initial attack, and even Valens with just 1 kill, he spots out that entire rush into those A-halls. Once they got out the A-halls, I mean, there were 4 members of Nihilum there just waiting, all set up, so great rotation from the defense.
And that's, I mean, I kind of alluded to that being compared to something like the long position at Overpass. I know it's a very different map, but it is the aggressive position that the CTs can get out and get that information. Even if they trade, they get information far away from the bomb site. It's not so close to the site by the time they realize it that they can't rotate. So that helps a lot. It gets them in position a lot sooner. Good pop flash through that smoke. I caught all of them. Doesn't let Hiko push through. But it did slow them down just a little bit. Stanislaw will get Hiko, but automatic, there it is. The SMG already with 2, and can he add to the kill total and the money reward? Bomb's going to try and get planted right now. He's got to get in position quickly. Okay, they do so. Sanks with the shotgun takes down Glorins. And Hades before that, he'll be bowing out of the round. And Nihilum, that's pretty solid. That's a pretty good execution on B. So both sites, they've had a decent hold. And I mean, I know it's early, there's no guns out, but it starts to play in Tempo Storm's mind.
Hiko got absolutely ran over with that auto shotgun he had at the A platform last round. He goes right back to buying it. So maybe something similar, but without a bomb plant on either of these rounds, Tempo Storm once again just saving their money. They're going to have a full buy on the 4th round. They'll have no lack of utility there, and it's going to be a heavy play towards mid. A pop flash comes in. Valens is playing very close to the SMG. He does grab the first and the second one. They're lining up through the smoke. Sanks actually steals one with the shotgun, but this hit has been entirely decimated.
And look at Valens. He's going to wait on that smoke, too. He wants more to push through into him. As Hiko with the shotgun. Sanks into Hades. And they're just going to hold the angle to make sure Rix can't go anywhere when he tries to come through. And he knows there's one on either side of him as he can hear Sanks above him. But Hiko, there it is, the shotgun. Customary play. He does make it work.
He might keep that into the gun round. I'd imagine Sanks would upgrade, but Hiko might keep that one.
He was playing actually at drop out of spawn to get. Actually, it looks like everyone might. Okay, so this I'm gonna come back to this, but he was playing at drop, so he could have used it. Either way, we're gonna see guns come out. This is interesting. The non-upgrade approach. They do upgrade one gun. Okay, so Sanks does go to an M4, but the SMG is staying out. This is kind of a 50-50 play where we say, okay, if we rebuy, we should win the round, but if we lose it, we waste our economy. Whereas we already have decent guns. Let's keep them. If we win, we add to our economy. If we lose, we could still buy in the next round. So it gives up one for a sort of an elongated approach to money management. Nice shot, Shazam, through the smoke.
This is actually a double off setup from Tempo Storm, so a big money investment on those 2 weapons. Shazam and Hades both picking it up. And look at this reverse boost at the drop. They try and go for it, but they just can't get the jumps right, so they just bail out. But with that 1 kill on Shazam to open things up, there's only 1 player over it. That's Sanks. He has the Colt. And you said it right. If they win with this buy, with the shotguns and with an SMG, I mean, that just bolsters the economy fully for Nihilum.
And the problem is with the double op, I mean, yes, that favors the distance game. It also takes away from the execution when they go for the site take. Once they get the bomb down, then the advantage can play back into them because they can start playing angles again. But if they don't get activity out of these ops so early, it actually counters out. And Sank's taking out Hades with that M4, now puts all the pressure onto B. Glorens does find automatic, but Sempis holds strong, but he gets caught. No, he doesn't. Shazam only tags him. I thought for sure that was going to land, and unfortunately it's only minor damage. Glorens makes up for it, puts him the rest of the way down, and Hiko, you know he's trouble when he walks in because Glorens is lying on the cold hard floor. It's all left to Shazam, 12 HP. And he almost gets caught out on that initial peek. That flash does blind him up, though.
That was a really nice flash. Now he's got this wide angle I was talking about. Gives him so much vision of different angles, but he unscopes at the wrong moment. 2 seconds left in the round. He's just going to run away and save it. A nice defense from Nihilum. Oh, he doesn't get away. Hiko, with the fast move, it puts his Nikes on and jumps up. And even salvages the op. So there's that situation where we said that even without upgrading, a lot of shotguns, a lot of SMGs, they're able to pick up some AKs in the middle of the round and they win it. So they're going to get some solid economic boosts off that one. It's going to be another save round for Tempo Storm.
Sanks goes right to the op. So this game on Cobblestone, maybe it's just a mirage thing where Sempis feels more comfortable with the op in mid. Oh, Sanks though goes aggressive. He gets caught. 8 HP. Nade gonna go out to back him out of danger. And a Molotov to trap the T-team in danger. Hiko coming up from the connection. Now they're pretty much essentially locked in there because he's got the mid control. They just have to make sure that they can get out onto Valens. They're gonna try and do it, and he makes the shot through the smoke on Hades look easy. Stanislaw, though, there's the Tech 9. Mini SMG, fire away, he finds Valens.
Yeah, but so much intel on where they are. Sanks has got to get back with that low HP. And now it actually causes Hiko to rotate off. Not too far, just watching drop. Automatic's going to pop flash his way into mid. He's looking up to danger. He sprays down 2, lined up for him. And it's all left to these last 2 players, Glorens and Rix. Falling back, they do have the bomb. 45 seconds left in the round. But the defense is holding strong for Nihilum.
Yeah, it's been good so far, actually, from their position. They haven't been putting the same... Well, we haven't actually seen any emphasis on drop from Tempo Storm. Obviously, they've only had the 1 gun round, but we're seeing really quick rotations. That's the even more important in some aspects. If you're going to take B, I think drops can cut off those rotations. If you're going to take A, it's simply a lurk to try and flank the rotations. And if the rotations have already occurred, you're not going to stop them. So it's Nihilum staying ahead of it. An automatic catches Glorens.
And they salvaged the op, so they want to get that back into Sanks' hands. He didn't have an effective round with it there. He got put down to 3 right at the start of the round, so he really couldn't do anything aggressive. He'll have a chance, though. Shazam picks one up, and he did get the opening pick on the 4th round when he had one. So they've got to make sure they can neutralize that early on. Don't want to be giving up a pick too early in these rounds, but look at the utility. 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes for the Nihilum team.
But Sempis aggressive, catches the first Rix, the second does get by, but he knows he's there, and it's 3A. This is such a hard stack, you're dead right. As Glorens does eventually take down Sempis, but they still don't have information that the second player is up at long right now. Valens is boosted up in that corner spot we see so often. And Hiko, automatic, they've already rotated over. It's such the thing is, once they've committed that many players, and that many players have gone down, even if you rotate over, you have so much time to go back, and you can pretty much read it, because it's something like 19 seconds to go from mid all the way back to the B connection. The B entrance, rather. And they've got control of bomb.
Yeah, that was an absolutely brutal stack at the A site by Nihilum. They had a good crossfire set up in those A halls, and one player pushed up in mid. But once they ran into that connector, it was just dunzo. Nihilum holds very, very strong. What a round from them. Nice call. Like, that's just kind of a blind counter as well. Like, there's no way Tempo Storm and Nihilum would have known that Tempo Storm was going to go for that fast mid-take there, but just because they did, that setup they had was just brutally effective.
And Sempis heading over, so I want to see their default. Hiko actually does get toward drop. He's going to have to hold this. Shazam's the one that looks like he's lurking in this position. But I think Hiko actually tossed out a Molotov on it early, so that actually prohibits Shazam from getting up close, buys them more time. They have to wait for this. As they'll put a nade out, they can't even go through this smoke. So really good initial play just to delay everything right now from Nihilum. Interesting smoke to come out from Tempo Storm, though. This covers between the box and the initial entry point and allows them to go for a wide peek. Might catch Shazam off, but he used a Molotov to lock them in place and not allow that to happen right away. So the smoke's going to be pretty much gone when they do go for that entry. Meanwhile, though, Shazam does win drop. Now they can pinch the site because automatics come over to support Sempus. He has to turn back. Shazam hasn't dropped down, though, interestingly enough. So Valens has a chance to potentially get up close and still hold him in place. Stanislav finds automatic. Sempus only with the one, and Glorns trades him. They have control. Shazam needs to go. I think he's expecting someone else to get in position, but he needs to be down there already to hold off these rotations because Sanks now has Hades, the one lurk player, and Shazam's just waiting. He hasn't done anything, so Valens has got inside the site. Valens tries to do damage. Rix is going to get up close now. They still want Shazam still being patient. This could work out for him now that Rix has gotten in position, but Sanks finds himself as the last one left. He will get Rix. And he gets dropped by Glorns. And Shazam could have come out a little bit sooner and got information on where those rotations were coming in, or when at least, so they could peek out accordingly.
Yeah, he could have, but either way, a good round there for Nihilum. Get their first win on the board, and actually that was a very good entry frags. The one player who was very low on HP actually led the way. He gets the first kill, and he keeps pushing forward. So instead of trying to fall back, he pushes forward. And Sempus kills him, but what that does is they have a 5 HP or find the information of where the other defender is, so it's a very, very easy trade from that point on. And it looks like a fast B play here. Sempus gets blinded, he's out in the open with his op. There he goes, he wasn't expecting that Hiko either. Oh, this B defense just got completely off guard. Caught off guard by that change of pace, and now even Sanks falls, so Tempo Storm just decimating everyone in sight this round.
The interesting thing is they don't have a smoke out to cover off the door in connection, which you normally see. Instead, they're smoke on the archway from the drop position, and it comes out late. So Stanislav was able to still get the shot in there. This is going to have to be a change of pace from Nihilum. They're going to have to put more emphasis on B. I think what you're going to actually end up seeing is Hiko playing at drop, but the second player at A, whoever it is, I'm not sure which they'll choose. Maybe Valens will be in position already in that connection point just to make sure, either doubling up on drop from outside of the windowsill, the flower window, or directly on the doorway watching B with a longer angle to hold and just wait for a call. Because they're going to have to, if they lose one player, the problem is they stretch themselves out so thin right now.
Yeah, that rush just completely caught him off guard. Sempus was trying to get into an advanced position. That flash just hit him full on in the face, so that was just a very quick, aggressive round from Tempo Storm. They killed everyone in on that B site within like 3 or 4 seconds, so nice hit from them. Very good aggression. This will be the last buy that Nihilum has. If they lose this one, they're going to be forced to save. It is an AWP into Sanks' hands. They do have a 5-7 on Valens. Else is rifled up. Hiko gets the opening kill. Fast play towards drop. He gets traded off by Rix. What do they do with this control? Now that they have it, they lose the bomb to automatic. That's the bomb down. Rix is still up there. He's ready to go. He does take out automatic. He does trade him off. But one more in the drop spot. That's Sempus. He takes him out. And a 3-on-1. Shazam not able to find anything go his way.
Interesting. Oh, wow, he spots up just the edge of Sanks, makes good on the shot, but look at Valens. He's got behind him. He doesn't want to peek out because he knows it's an op, and if he's spotted, he's down just as quick as that with only this 5-7 to work with, but he's still in position. Once he gets the call from Sempus just needs to stay efficient, not die, let him run around the site a little bit like a chicken, and hopefully get a shot from Valens, who is now pushing up. He does have this read, and he picks up a gun, and this could be the end of Shazam. No, he just gets around the corner, so both of them come in around behind him. He's going to get this bomb, but there it is. Sempus puts himself in line to make the shot. He does so successfully. That was interesting, because they actually, their default that time on B was not to have Sempus over on that long B position where 99% of players play. They actually doubled up drop immediately. There was a chance for Shazam to push through as a result of that and split up, take the double approach, site taker approach to the site, if you will. He didn't. He was a little bit passive on it again, so everyone went down. The problem was they lost the bomb, and once that was the case, Sempus just stayed put.
Yeah, it was just great tradings from Nihilum. It looked like they might have been caught a little bit off guard by it once again, but traded all the way through and eventually come out on top. And Hades, as we've seen this entire half, he's pretty much the only player lurking aggressively in the middle. Sanks has an op on this, so Hades could get caught out, and he does. He goes down 5-on-4 very early on for Nihilum.
Yeah, no Hades left to work with. This time they go for that boost, so automatic. This is the difference that I was kind of talking about between the Europeans doubling up at that long position, whereas Elige was playing on the left side of the tree to give him a quicker point towards drop. But Sempus makes good work with that op. He'll catch out Stanislav. Glorns does trade back into it as that smoke had a slight gap, so he couldn't quite get himself back into cover. And he overextends his welcome. Still the advantage is firmly with Nihilum, though. And look at this read. Valens is already falling back deep inside A to allow everyone else to rotate over. So Hiko's going to eventually work out from drop because Sanks is there. Automatic has to hit the shot, though. Really passive hold again. Allows Glorens to swing wide. Automatic spots him. Glorens looks the wrong way. Can't land the shot. The M4 unable to put him down. Although here comes Hiko to save the day. Glorens out of it. Rix, I think he was spotted just on the edge there by Hiko. But Automatic, such low HP, doesn't want to peek out with Hiko. Already distracting him. Now he does, and he gets the shot immediately after his teammate dropped. We do have a lag out right now on TS's side as Shazam is the last one to go out. Did make a nice shot on Automatic, so I'm expecting a pause here, though.
That was actually really scary, because you said they were in great positioning. It's a great read. Valens falling back so deep, he can call things out, he can delay for the rotate. But Automatic playing behind that statue was just staring at the statue. He wasn't watching anything. He wasn't actually getting any intel, so he was actually caught off guard by those members being so wide on that 8 platform. Just the timing of it kind of ruined him a little bit. And you could see it took a little bit of effort to catch himself and to get those kills, but nicely played by Nihilum. They manage it well, and once this drop player comes back in, this is going to be an eco round out of Tempo Storm, so Nihilum looking good in this first half. You said 9-6 was the magic number. That pretty much makes it so Tempo Storm has to be no more mistakes for them here on out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have to come back into this now. I think it's interesting the way that this defense is actually working out for Nihilum, because it is a different approach at times. They are a lot more passive. It's occasional you will see people play toward the chicken coop and back into where I barn, chicken coop, hut, whatever you want to call it, and play that angle, so you get them and you kind of don't allow them to go for the wide peak because you are also in a wide angle. But by playing on statue, you're actually giving up a lot of position to potentially be overwhelmed. If you lose that first exchange, as Automatic nearly did in that last round, you could actually give up a bomb plant quite quickly. One smoke out to cover off statue, and you can walk in and get a plant down. So need to be a little careful of that, but so far it's working out. Tempo Storm haven't really taken full advantage of it.
You know what's not working out is whatever offense Tempo Storm is running. This round it looks like it's going to be another B rush. So they are going to come out here just pistols. This is a potential to just get mopped up quickly. They're going to push Automatic. Hiko's going to come in to bail him out at the drop zone. Sprays down 2. Automatic does fall, but Sempus gets the last 2. But this offense where there's generally like 3 to 4 players clumped up over towards B, waiting out some smokes to get aggressive on that site, and Hades being the solo lurker, I mean, he's fallen in situations where there's no opportunity to get a trade. So it's basically been a free kill at times for Nihilum to give him a man advantage.
Well, that round was pretty quick.
Yeah, very quick.
To say the least.
It was a mop-up. And this looks like it's going to be another heavy B play. They worked in the one gunner where they rushed it. They caught him off guard, but now it gets hurt out.
Oh, here's Stanislaw again, though. This is the entry he had last time. This is working well because that's the passive angle I'm talking about. They don't have that hold. So not only can he wide peek, he drops down through the crack. Won't matter. Look at Hiko. Picks up 2. Sempus, Automatic. They'll each get 1. And Stanislaw hadn't been able to shoot the drop in the back. Then there was a chance they could have overwhelmed Automatic by coming at him from both sides, but it never works out. It never materializes. And Nihilum might be giving up room, but they're definitely not giving up anything with anything to be desired with their aim. So 10-2.
Well, there's too much experience on this team to get caught off guard by a B rush more than once here. And actually, they played some players relatively aggressively at the drop, so they heard it from a mile away. And the defense stands tall.
Hades, Deagle, Glorens, P250. Rick's Tech 9, and Sank stop. He takes down Hades, so no more Deagle. Sank's Shazam, no more Shazam. It's all working out in favor on this anti-eco right now for Sankston. Rick's, unfortunately, not looking in a much better situation. He's going to push through with this Tech 9, but he actually got behind him without them spotting him. Now they know he's there. Valen's waiting. He'll catch him, and bomb was in his hands, so even though he's the last one left, doesn't matter. It's an irrelevant fact, but it gets dropped, and Nihilum continue on with this dominance. And this is where I was saying, we haven't seen T-Side really develop that well for these teams. It's kind of like a weird thing that, because we're not forced to play them at tournaments where major money are on, I don't know, this is kind of a theory at it, but where it's not at major tournaments where it could actually cost you a lot of money for, you know, potential prize money. It's only in the season. I feel like a lot of North American teams go, whatever, we'll just give up that week anyway, because everyone has to play it. It equals itself out. But the Europeans put a lot more emphasis into learning these newer maps, and I think, you know, that someone's got to bite the bullet and scrim. It's hard to find a scrim on a map like this. I remember going to Pugs and saying, I want to play Cobble. No one wants to play Cobble. Well, they're going to have to. All these teams are going to have to learn it in better shape. Good boost up here from Hiko. He's going to go counter drop, and he's already above it.
Yeah, he's found a fantastic angle here. He's not even gonna push it at the moment. He's almost waiting for this B hit to come. When is he gonna choose to pounce? Two players coming out towards the B bomb site. There's Hiko. He comes for it. Gets Rix in the back of the head. Now he peeks. They're so incredibly blind. Stanislaw and Glorens have nothing to do but fall. Hiko doesn't get it, but Valens does get the knife for the last round, the money bonus. And I don't know if that's how I'd put it with the American teams on this map.
I mean, I
understand
could be reading into it a little bit.
Well, I don't think it's that they flat out say, you know, we don't care, we're just going to not practice it. But I think that, especially with all these new rosters, even on the move-up teams, new rosters, we only really have 2 stable rosters returning from last season. It's just the map pools aren't deep enough. They haven't really delved into it that much. And, I mean, you're right, this map doesn't get played enough by American teams, so they're focusing on the maps that they think they're going to have to worry about most.
I mean, you look at a team like Fnatic, though, who knows that because you're picking the maps, it's not assigned by scheduling. Oh, this looking actually good. Okay, I thought it was going to actually go the other way with Sanks pushed up. So this looks all of a sudden good for right now. On TS, they have that smoke cut on Statue. Now they can get quick plant in place. Semphis, though, does push through. The smoke, he'll catch out Shazam. Hades making good work of him in counter response, though, and it leaves it all on Valens, who's on the flank. He's actually on the upside of drop. The Uptown Funk gonna give it to you.
So I was wrong. Guys, he sprays the first one down, but I was wrong. The experienced players did fall for a B rush twice in one half. So,
my point, I guess, is like if you look at Fnatic though, where they know they can pick it, they could not take it out with one of their vetoes. It's up to the other team to do that. That it can slip in, and when it slips in, it's not like it's every team's going to play it. It could just be that series, and if they have the upper hand in that series, that's a gimme. And at the tournaments, the amount of tournaments they're playing and the amount of money that they potentially can win with all those lands in Europe right now, there's a lot of reason to try and deepen your map pool. And as a result, a lot more teams are forced to counter that off and say, okay, we need to learn this so it's not our kryptonite either. And I don't think there's that same. It might have been harsh to say the North American teams don't care, but I think it's more crucial for the Europeans, to pick up on it right away, whereas North Americans don't have that same pressure.
You and I talked at the beginning of the season when we were watching some train matches that if an American team could just become a boss on train, that could be huge. Look at this ace stack.
Picking map pools in those kind of tournaments.
Yep, and look at this ace stack from Tempo Storm. 4 people pushing, 1 player is watching and listening for it. He goes down, that's automatic. And a volley over towards the B site to delay the hit, but Semphis picks him off anyways. Valens finds one on the flank. The bomb is down, though. So
this was the big thing. This was the big thing so bomb goes down. They're going to spot that up, but Valens actually waited for everyone to push by, and he actually almost made that work in his favor. Nonetheless, Stanislaw gets dropped. Now Rick's going to go and do damage onto Hiko. Valens, again, that could have been perfect. Now it looks like a TS because they've recovered this bomb. Have full control, or do they? Semphis does take down Rick's. Gets it back to a one-on-one. He's low HP. Glorens has to go on this chase. And it's a wild goose chase, because which way did he go out of drop? He's not close enough to hear him, so... Talk about chicken coops on this map.
Talk about being put in the worst situation ever. Smart play by Semphis. I don't even know if you can hear the bomb being planted from this. He's going to have to check B. He has no idea. And no kit either, so that's just time lost there. 5 seconds gone for Glorens on this bomb timer.
Good boy, Semphis. Well played. That was actually quite clever to keep him guessing, and this positioning is pretty good too, because now Glorens, like you said, no, Kit has to rush in a little bit more aggressively, and Semphis just waits, and Glorens has to be scratching his head going, how the hell could I have possibly improved on that situation?
Yeah, there was nothing he really could have done. That was just a great outplay by Semphis in the pistol run in the one-on-one, so that actually looked really, really promising for Tempo Storm, but they know that they need to get these rounds. They need to trade the economy. They need to break Nihilum, so they're just buying up here. Glorens has a shotgun. You're going to see the CZs and armor, the 5/7 armor come out to play.
They're going to head back toward B this time. Hades going to be the one that's watching drop on TS's side, and Hiko, no surprise there. He's your lurk. He was the player holding it on the CT side, so he knows exactly what angles are going to be in play when he tries to go down on Hades. Unfortunately, that nade goes a little bit high, doesn't make it through the arch of the doorway, and won't do any damage at all. Actually, I shouldn't say any damage. It does very little. It does a mere 16 damage. Semphis Molotovs the corner, make sure they aren't going to get in position to go for that boost, and no one's going to be hiding. So now they've got a chance to go a little bit more aggressive. Semphis makes it work. Glorens gets caught. Hiko, he'll find Hades, and automatic now finds Rick. So things looking really good for Nihilum. No surprise there. The SMGs completely overwhelmed the pistols, and Shazam with the 5/7, and the CZ75 for Stanislaw. We'll see if they even bother going in for this, or do they just try and, like we talked about in the last matchup, prohibit giving away frag economy and keep the pistols they did invest in.
You know, I see that in European teams as well, especially with like Hellraiser. So Dren is the one who guards drop, and he's the one who attacks it. So I wonder if that's something I haven't really noticed that. I don't know if you know Fnatic, if that's how they play it. I feel like Fnatic would be a little bit more varied. With the guarding and attacking drop, it's usually the same one player is dedicated to it on both sides of the map.
Yes, because Olaf's usually entry at B. He holds on B. I think it's Pronax in their case.
Yeah, very interesting.
It might be Crims. Pronax or Crims are definitely in that spot. Because Flush is usually... I don't know, I've seen them do it a few different ways. Flush is usually pushing up A with JW. And then it's... So, yeah, it was Pronax or Crims. I can't remember which. But they often don't put a player directly in the room. They're one of the teams that their swing players actually on the outside of the arch, and their support player, rather than doing what we talked about with Liquid, their support players on the windowsill at the flower pot type thing. So they actually play a passive hold, and then depending on the situation, they can have either player. So if it goes to A, they can have the second player watch it. If it goes to B, the first player can rotate out really quickly.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking for Tempo Storm. They stack the A bomb site, but Nihilum comes into B. Lawrence does do a lot of damage to Valence. Can't get the kill, but here come the rotations. The head of Valence gets taken off, but they're stuck behind choke points. On so many of them. Guns trained, all from Nihilum. They're just going to spray people down through smoke. Trying to come through drops. Sham does pick up Hiko, but Sempus is there to pick up the slack with 2 nice frags. All down to Rix. It's going to be 15-3 for Nihilum. They're going to be on match point.
Well, this is a quick match. This is looking great. So Nihilum showing that they at least have some potential. I still think there's a few holes that you know, like if they were to play someone like Mouse Sports, who's quite good on this map, Flipside, who's really good T-side on this map, or Fnatic, even Nip, who's somewhat decent, they would have a little bit of problems holding the B site. So they could still tighten up a little bit, but overall this is a solid performance. I'd like to see them play Liquid, actually. I think that would be a really good match on this map. But Shazam's going to be top danger right now. Smokes go out, lots of them to try and get some establishment at lower mid right now. Stanislaw finds Valence. That's the push out at long, and unfortunately that's also the bomb, so Hiko has to designate himself to going back to get that. Good start for TS, 1 man up, and look at Sempus. He's already found his way up middle and inside the connector. He gets caught. That's an important kill for Rix. This now allows the rotation to continue unimpeded as Shazam in the back of the site has been unsighted right now, and Sanks has no idea he's there, so he walks to his own demise. As the fire will come out. It's cold hard arson right now from Hiko, and Rix wants none of it. And we'll get this match on a little bit longer. It's not done just yet.
Yeah, Nihilum trying to end it very, very quickly with just a fast play up mid, and some nice picks there from Tempo Storm playing the smoke angle. Sempus you said he tried to sneak his way into that middle connector, but he actually got spotted out very early on and sprayed down super low, so he had nothing he could really do. But another buy out of Nihilum. They have a Deagle and Tech 9 on Hiko and Valence respectively, and op onto Sempus, so he's continuing his sniper play here.
Yeah, and this is a little more traditional actually in the A approach. By the one long, one at mid. The smokes, though, these smokes on the doorways, they can sometimes... Actually, Olaf throws them T-side, but sometimes they can actually hold the CT in place a little bit too long because you don't know your own smoke. You don't know what's on the other side of it, so you can't rotate quite as quickly. Olaf throws it to lock players in position on A to just keep a rotator off of it to make him second-guess that it might be a fake. Either way, though, Molotov the corner. That forces out any defender who tries to get aggressive or dares to get aggressive. And this smoke from automatic, where's this going to land? I think this is front statue. From that, I don't know all the smokes off by heart yet. I apologize. I think that's front statue, so that indicates to me they'll be going. Yeah, it is. That indicates to me they're going to be going for a really aggressive take on the site to try and get a fast bomb plant. But they still have Glorens to contend with all the way back, and he already finds Sanks. Automatic makes good work. He goes front side of tree and manages to take down both players. A drop, but Glorens finally gets put down after he takes down Valence. 2 kills for him. That slowed everything because the bomb was in position to go down, as we can see. The corpse drops on the platform, and the bomb gets thrown a little bit forward, so Shazam's in a really good spot now, taking down Hiko. He could have been pinched on before Stanislaw gets there, and Sempus has to pull himself out of this 1-on-2. So the execution was there, but not getting that kill on Glorens really shut things down and gave Tempo Storm the case to make this round work or do it because Sempus made that damn interesting at the end. I didn't think he would get that kill on Stan at all.
Yeah, that was a very nice kill, and he just narrowly missed out on even spotting Shazam as he was rotating around, but 4 kills for Nihilum there on a 4 spy. That's good economical damage, and it looks like Sempus buys up completely here, so this might just be a full-blown Tech 9 push. And it's kind of dangerous. I think they think that the economy for Tempo Storm is a little bit worse than it is in this round, because, I mean, they have 4 Molotovs, they have smokes, And they have an AWP on Shazam, so this could actually be dangerous for Nihilum to run into.
Well, we'll see if they do. A little bit more aggressive for Ricks this time over at the front side of the connector. I need to stop saying front side, back side, but I don't know how else to refer to those positions. I guess defensive side of the connector, the CT side.
CT
Usually
side
what I
works.
refer to. Yeah, CT side. We'll go with that. I need to be more specific. Either way, good smokes out, good flash as well, but that's not really going to catch many people because Stanislaus through the second door. He's playing it passive. Now he pops back out, and there's 2 for him. That's much more impressive than the hold that dropped in the last round. Hiko eventually silences him with that Tech 9, and the drop play from Semphis. That's when the Lord comes into it on the A-take, because that would have cut off the rotators, but Hades finds him. That's massive, because now he can come over and get there a lot quicker. Bomb's still going to get in position from Valens. Hiko, he's playing passive, coming up the stairwell on mid right now, so Bomb gives them money. They still have a big situation to pull themselves out of, and Hades walks past Hiko. Hiko lets him go a little bit further, lines up the shot, makes sure he nails it, but Rix has already got him. And Valens fell just before that, so we're not done. 3 rounds in a row, despite that we've been on match point in that time. We'll go the way of Tempo Storm.
That was almost a really cool alert by Hiko. Couldn't make it work, though. And that was a great pop flash from Tempo Storm. Shazam playing far back with an op. Pop flashes into that main. We see that play a lot, actually, and even Nihilum did it in the first half, and it's just ruinous to anyone who's inside that connector. So nice defense from Tempo Storm, and now we're going to see Nihilum onto a bit of a save here. No armor bought up except on Sank, so they're going to go into the next round with full guns.
Shazam wants to wait. Really open angle, so he has to take the shot. Okay, he's already moved himself over toward danger. He would have had to take that shot and immediately fall in, crossing the angle he would have shot from, making himself more exposed, but he makes it pay off. He catches Semphis, who tries to go passive.
He's so lucky that when he falls back, there was no one over towards long.
Yeah, because they weren't checking that. That's a great point.
He just fell back into danger. He had no one covering it. If there'd been, even just one Nihilum member pushing up that way, he could have just been executed for free.
Yeah, that's a great point, because Op wouldn't have won that battle. Well, it might have, but unlikely. You wouldn't expect it to. Hiko wants to go for the entry on B this time. Nice little bounce flash. Actually extinguishes the flames accordingly. That covers off anyone over at the chicken coop and in the corner, so that's a cool smoke. I actually kind of like that. It leaves a big gap towards Sachi, but you could actually double that up. Either way, Hades will take Hiko down. That's a cool wall. That actually could be really cool if you wanted to drop someone in on the front side of the tree and then take the back side of drop, the CT side of drop. There we go, I did it again. But that could be, that's a cool, I haven't seen that. I don't know if that was intentionally supposed to land there or not, but it looked pretty intentional.
It extinguished the Molotov, so it might have gone a little bit differently.
But he threw it before the Molotov landed, too, so... Like, it was already in the air as the Molotov touched down, so I don't think he actually planned on that, and he bounced it off the wall upward. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask him if that was intentional. Either way, where it landed was actually really valuable.
Okay, now look, I mean, Nihilum's... Tempo Storm's just been hanging around here. Now Glorance has the auto sniper, and this is a gun that can turn the tides. I mean, it's still very far away from even considering this a comeback. There's still 8 more match points for Nihilum, but...
This is the spot to use it into.
Yeah, this could be deadly coming up in these next few rounds, and more importantly, if this is extremely effective here early on, it might scare Nihilum away from these B executes in the later stages, but he pulls out a nade. Semphis, that was his time to peak. He gets naded down to 24. That's going to force the op back.
Yeah, this boost. How much higher can you go here? This just gets over top of smoke, but what's the angle? Because I think you're actually almost so high that you can't see all the way back to the wall. I guess you can see into the corner. That's good enough. That's cool. More things you didn't know. I didn't think that angle had any value to it other than just waiting for someone to push past you, but Nihilum getting creative right now to try and pull this last round out of them to make sure they can close the deal, and they might actually catch Rix pushing in aggressively, but he doesn't commit to the full peak, so he only gets Sanked, and that boost won't be able to spot him.
Yeah, this is a very wounded duck execute onto the B bomb site. Semphis is limping, and there's the auto sniper. Glorance grabs one. He scopes away at the wrong moment. Gets a little bit impatient. Does take out Hiko. He's down very low to 15 HP, but he's doing the damage. He's got 2 kills. He swings out one more. He does fall, but the rotation is in, and Rix picks up automatic. And it's going to be an easy cleanup for there. So 9 to 15 now. Or, excuse me, 8 to 15. 8 to 15.
Yeah, it changed. I know it's confusing because if it's a bomb detonation or defusal, it doesn't change till after the round restarts, but if it's kill, it changes instantly. They mess with you, Moses.
It's working.
But yeah, they get the auto sniper back. It didn't really contribute a lot other than that initial early damage on Semphis, which you could argue changed the round. If he gets that pick, then maybe they go aggressively on the site. Instead, we saw they had to fall back and try and get creative. It didn't really work for them. So TS are showing some decent holding right now on their T side. And it's with Glorans holding the open angle as opposed to Elige was just playing for a swing for Liquid. So slight differences. This time a little more aggression onto Ace. Hiko's found his way in mid. He's actually going to climb up danger. He might be able to catch Stanislaw. No, never mind. Take that all back. Stanislaw finds them both. Automatic dropping as well. So really good play from him. Good read. Doesn't give up too much at all. And Hades is going to smoke the top of drop. Semphis, there's a gap. Semphis pushes forward. Hades executes him though. So that won't amount to anything.
Yeah, just like Tempo Storm in the first half, Nihilum's gun rounds, they really can't get anything going. They haven't found any entry frags go their way. They seem set on just, delaying over towards B a lot of the rounds and trying to find an entry kill, but it's been managed very well by Tempo Storm. This round coming up A, it's been spotted out by Stanislaw. He just shoulder pieced. He's going to get smoked off, and in a 2-on-5, even if they take this, retake is going to be near impossible, and they have so many people over here. Stanislaw makes his way back into the bomb site. They're going to try and bully their way, and there's the auto sniper. Does damage onto Sanks. He's down to 20, so he's not going to be able to do much. He gets taken out by Rix. And all down to Valence. Last man standing. Does spray down Shazam. Tries to make his way into the connector. But Rix catches him with a bullet through the door at the end.
I mean, this is good. This is rounds 4 to 9. 5 in a row, all going the way of Tempo Storm. But the money's... it's tight. They can actually force it. And they're going to. They're going to bring out the Galil for Hiko. I want to see someone get better use out of drop. They haven't been able to really use it well. They've had good B entries because of that wide angle that Glorans is holding. We saw them go for that quick smoke plant. Again, they haven't been able to get that kill. But the problem is they're not dividing the site. Looks like Hiko's actually going to put more pressure on it this time. So let's see if this amounts to anything for Nihilum. As Semphis waits for the flames to extinguish, he wants to come around the corner with the AK, looking for the initial shot. Shazam finds Hiko, though, so he won't get anywhere from drop. Bomb's already down at the tree. Inside the alleyway, and Hades knows it, so he just has to hold the angle. Does successfully on Sanks, but not on automatic. Stanislaw, meanwhile, he'll find Valens over on A. But he's in a 1-on-3. Is automatic. Smoke out. That'll let him push forward. He could grab this bomb if he takes one more step, but I think he's far too worried that someone's going to be on the left side. Does pick it up. Rick's not holding a tight enough angle to the wall to spot him on that cross, but look at Shazam's positioning. He doesn't land the shot. Gives Automatic a chance to respond. Hasn't hit anything with the AK, and Rick's pops out. Oh my god, Automatic. How does he turn back and hit that? I thought he had no business nailing that. I thought that was an easy kill for TS. Instead, Automatic buys himself some space. He falls back. He could use the cover of the statue to get this bomb down early. Takes a step back. Good thing, because Shazam would have had slight exposure. Bomb goes. He knows Shazam's pushing, and that's an aggressive push with a pistol. Shazam a little bit overcommitted, but little does he know Stanislaw's following in the footsteps in a far more passive approach, and he'll make up for the lost ground. They bring this into double digits, and Tempo Storm nearly get 1v3 execution right there from Automatic.
Yeah, he made that very interesting, and you said it. That was it was either an overplay from Shazam or an underplay from Stanislaw. Either way, that needed to be traded. Stan is able to lurk his way around the statue and find him. But 10 to 15, and it's kind of like those, like Nihilum, those early buys, those early force buys with the Tech 9 armor when they didn't necessarily have to. I mean, I wonder, that's kind of coming back to bite them here, because Tempo Storm is absolutely rolling. Lost the first 3, and it looked so incredibly grim, but they haven't lost one yet.
Drop. Hiko already taking a peek, but the fire pushes him back.
He feels like he can take that aggressively. He got down easily in the last round with that aggressive play, but he got punished going towards CT spawn. But here it comes. The auto sniper just mowing him down.
A few loose chickens in the hen house. Glorans, different angle with it this time, and he makes better on it. But Hiko has gotten down. Now he has Hades, and with Glorans out of it, B-site's a lot more open, and Automatic finding Shazam. They've got a real chance turning this around late, as it does go back to a 2-on-2, but Stanislaw finding Automatic with bomb, trying to cross over. That may take out any chance. Valens, though, has got down drop. Rix doesn't realize it, so they may overlook this. They may not. Rix coming around, realizes he's there, but it's down to a 1-on-1. Valens, excellent shot. Rix needs to be very careful. Or rather, Stanislaw, excuse me. He has the HP advantage, and he knows bomb's over at B-site. That has to have been called. But he doesn't hear Valens jump over. Obviously, he's disappeared. He's vanished from the room, so he has to be coming the other direction, and that's a good read from Stanislaw. Well composed, and Tempo Storm now have, what is this, 8 rounds in a row. That's impressive stuff against Nihilum, who just cannot get this last round.
Yeah, but couldn't salvage the auto sniper, and that'd be a risky buy. The economy's been getting beat up. Both of these last 2 rounds going down to, oh, they do pick it up, but both of these last 2 rounds have gone into one-on-ones here. So Tempo Storm making a comeback. It is going to be another full buy from Nihilum. Everything they can get. Valence has a Galil with some utility. They only have 2 smokes to work with, and this does look like it's going to be a full-blown B execute. But they're going to do it right through this defensive smoke.
And it's just like gapping it, yeah. Like Lawrence, though, there it is, auto sniper, but he only gets the one. Excellent trade from Hiko. Rick's back to Sempus, automatic, back to Rick, so we stayed 3-on-3. It stays dead even. Flashes go over top. Hades tries to peek off that, but there's a really good defensive smoke to cover off the alley. And Valen's desperately trying to fire through. Won't be able to land the shots. Look at Automatic's HP, and I'm interested. This is exactly what I was expecting. Interested to see if they go boost up toward tree. This puts Automatic above. Look at the HP. Everyone's so low on Nihilum. Shazam executes onto Automatic, and it comes down to a one-on-one. Hades gets the kill, has the kit, and he should easily get this defused. They pull it back. These rounds are getting closer and closer. Tempo Storm, man, this is going to be heartbreaking if they don't collect this, because they've done so well to bring themselves back, but it's getting such a nail-biter every single round that you got to think they're almost sweating at this point. It's such hard work.
Yeah, but this economy just keeps getting beat up. You can actually look at the money this round. Nihilum has far more money than Nihilum does. They do drop an auto sniper over, but there's not going to be... Actually, this is a pretty solid buy out of Tempo Storm that I'm seeing, so that actually surprises me a little bit. But this is so impressive. And Hiko in that one-on-one, I mean, that was a one-on-3 from Hades, and Hiko in that one-on-one, he actually pulled his knife out at the last second. It's going to be another B-rush, though. They throw the Molotov down, and Nihilum just runs through it looking for these entries. Glorin goes down without a single kill. It's now up to Hades and Ricks to hold this off a little bit longer, but Cephas is having enough. He gets 3 of them. Beautiful, beautiful job by Cephas to open this bomb site up. This should be the match.
Yeah, this is a lot better right now from Nihilum. Full control of the site. No one inside of the connecting door. This is the first time that this has been the case post-plant, and Stanislaw eats a nade. He's got to be desperate. There's no point saving. It's match point, and unfortunately, they didn't do a job early enough to make this comeback viable as Hiko. Man, I can't even talk. There's so many AK spam shots coming out. Hiko's going to close it out on Shazam. And that game definitely was a lot closer than we expected at the end. But again, it comes down to T-side and teams not really knowing the execution. Both those teams struggled, and if you got a few more rounds, you have to think Tempo Storm, if they could have prohibited them from getting the match point sooner, they had a chance in that for sure.